guess what I'm trying to make clear is the 2.9 is enough to operate the fire department staff.
And that's what was appropriate.
But I see, I understand what you're saying. You're looking at the numbers on the sheet and say that there's a.
I predict we need $10 million next year. Does that mean we need it? Just because I put it in writing?
Well, I think she's going off of the sustainability report, correct?
That's why I said that.
Yeah.
Well, sustainability, let's say, you know, before me each year.
Well, what a workshop that showed us that that the department can operate at the end of the year. I mean, is that all you're asking for?
I guess I'm upset because I'm getting phone calls from close friends of mine. I have family in the Avon Fire Department. They're afraid they're going to lose their jobs. I don't think people realize how our money from the circuit breaker has been cut back. You know, we are in a financial bind here in Washington Township, and I just think there's solutions to not lay people off. And
what do you propose?
So that's why I think it'd be nice if we could sit down and have a mini workshop and work it out.
I didn't know that was laid off.
No, I was saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that this loan kept that from happening. Yeah, so because of the fact that the petition was rescinded, and they said go ahead and get the loan so we can get the 2.9, which keeps anyone from getting laid off.
Well, and if I may, let's back up just a little bit. If there's anyone here who does not understand what an emergency loan is, I think you're entitled to an explanation. Is there anyone who's interested in that? All right. And someone correct me if I'm wrong. An emergency loan is a normal course of business that many townships pursue. Personally speaking, I think naming it an emergency loan is inappropriate. But what an emergency loan is money that we borrow against tax revenues we theoretically will receive from the state of Indiana. And while the concept of township government is under fire from a number of legislators, including Mrs. Connie Lawson, who introduced legislation to abolish township government, and so I think there might be a little conflict of interest there. The point of the matter is that we are compelled to follow guidelines that the state of Indiana gives us. The way that we get tax revenue that we are due is through an emergency loan, which covers us until that money arrives out of the tax law. We're borrowing what we know we're going to get from the state. We just haven't received it.
I'll make a couple comments on that. The emergency loan also is up beyond our levy. The levy's been frozen. It's been frozen for mid-70s. Washington Township has outgrown that levy. Washington Township population has grown what that levy was set. So legislation had to set up that you borrow emergency loan money for 3 consecutive years, then you can file for your levy appeal to raise that levy to meet your growth and to meet your needs. And back in 08, when 1001 passed, we were did our third, we were in the process of filing for that levy appeal. The 1001 took that away from us. It now says you have to continue borrowing money. You cannot file for your levy appeal to raise that levy to meet your needs. So this is something that the state of Indiana has put on everyone when it comes to townships. When your shortfall, because our levy does not allow us to collect taxes what we need to operate on the fire department. That is exactly what it's for. It's not for anything else. It cannot be used for parks. It cannot be used for township. It cannot be used for public assistance. It's fire only. We are surpassed that levy. If people want to go back to 2000, 2003, that's what. I won't do that. If someone new come in and they can turn around and send 70 people home and go back down to
And that is what I told him. And I am against costs. And we need to bring our costs down. And he is. And I'm sorry, I have an open mind. This is not a dictatorship. Ronnie has not utilized this board. I am on this board because I was elected in a caucus of 26 Republican precinct committeemen 2 years ago, or it's been a year and a half ago, to bring fiscal responsibility and transparency to this board. And that's what I have tried to do. And I respect all the requirements here. And just because there's not a township doesn't mean there won't be a fire department. So, anything else?
Well, we don't need the microphone anymore, do we? Just so everybody understands, when we talk about this levy, the only way that, when it relates to the fire service, the only way that we can increase the amount of tax revenue, correct me if I'm wrong, the only way we can increase the amount of tax revenue that we generate is by increasing the assessed value of the township. Is that
Yeah, with the levy, but you also gotta remember and let them know, since everything passed with the circuit breaker and with the 1, 2, 3%.
right? But it's set, I mean, my house, I pay 1% tax on
No
it.
matter what.
He pays 1%, yeah, so, but by increasing the only way you can increase the assessed value of the township is either everybody's assessed property value goes up, or you put more businesses or more structures into the township, which are gonna create a bigger burden on the fire department. So it's kind of a catch-22 in that situation. You know, we increase the assessed value of the township, we increase the responsibility of the fire department. So it's kind of hard to catch up in that particular scenario. I don't like borrowing money any more than anyone else does, but there's times that when this circuit breaker first came out, the state actually required us to borrow the amount of money that we thought we were going to get in taxes next year, because we didn't get our taxes, the levy at the right time. So the idea behind putting a limit on the amount of tax revenue that any entity can generate is probably a good idea. I don't know if putting something in the legislature, state legislature or state constitution, excuse me, that puts a limit on the amount of revenue that we can generate and not know how much money we're going to generate from it. They didn't know when this thing happened how much it was going to generate. So that part of the circuit breaker, I don't know about. And Mr. Garrett talked 2 years ago, I think, when we talked about the sustainability thing. He called it the perfect storm. He talked about the circuit breaker and the tax levy fine. It was all these things were just happening at the same time, and it's happening across the state. It's happening everywhere. So we aren't unique. It's just that we're a little closer to home.